Two authors coming together to make marketing our books fun enough that we actually do it. Join us on Twitch or YouTube 3 times a week to see how it's done, and please do join our community to get your own bingo cards and many other perks. Let's get started. I accidentally lost it, I think. Oh, I'm so close to getting it right.
Hey, you did it first. I did it last because I couldn't figure out how to get it, which one to click on.
No. I haven't even
But I wanted to play it because it's so good.
All right, well, I must admit, I did not watch the Monday stream yet, so I have no idea what's going on for you with bingo this week.
So I'm doing 2 columns. I'm doing a reader column, and I'm doing a collaboration column and a media column. I'm looking right at it, and I still say the wrong thing.
All right, so all the way down.
So because I'm me, I have been focusing on readers all week. But in a good way, right? So I did an outreach for reviewers for the new book that launched yesterday. Yay! And so far I've got 4 new reviewers, so I'm happy about that. And not all of them are related to me.
Only some.
And I sent an email to my list, which is very unusual for me. But I also posted in my because we just got back from a family reunion, and I had talked about my book to a couple people, so I just posted it there saying, here's where you could go to sign up to be a reviewer if you want. And I posted it on my personal Facebook page. So I feel like I did, I just need 2 more to get the reader column. And I'm so I knew we were meeting today, and I was gonna step on it right before our meeting and do the media. That's interesting. You've moved.
I disconnected and then came back somehow.
But you came back on the other side, which is interesting.
I know.
It's visually interesting. So anyway, but we talk. Oh my gosh, you just switched again. Okay, Carolyn, you're making me
okay, I'll stop. Go ahead. Continue telling me.
Okay, so I have the collaboration column and the media column that I need to do, and I actually know what I'm going to do. It shouldn't take me that long, but I took a nap instead of doing it this afternoon, which I think is allowed. So anyway.
Definitely allowed, yes.
I have a LinkedIn Live, but I don't think I'm going to do it. It says 10,000 views. I don't think there's any way I could get 10,000 views. But what I decided to swap in for that was to do LinkedIn column interviewing my co-author. Because she's a new author, and so I'd like to see what she thought about the process.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great idea. So how is the launch going
right now? It's going as well as you would expect when you don't do the things you're supposed to do. And I had a hard time with it yesterday, even though I knew that was the way it was going to be. And, just a fun note to anyone else who's marketing their books. Scheduling to be 2 weeks away with family right before your book launch is not a good idea. It's funny because I would say, okay, I would come downstairs in the morning. It was a beautiful place. We stayed at a beautiful Airbnb. It was right on the water. It was very peaceful. All 11 of us were able to be in one house, and it wasn't noisy. And I would come down every morning prepared to work, get my cup of coffee, and my grandson bounced down. And he was right there with me the whole time. And he's from California, so that was unexpected that he would be getting up at 6 with Granny.
You're on the East Coast, so that's his time zone was different, and
he's a 3-hour different time zone. And his sister and his mom are here today, But the funny thing is, it's like for him, it's the morning before his mom gets up is he's allowed to have screen time. And so he was taking full advantage of that, but he was also sharing his game with me. So my mind was just not at all focused. Um, I did have one time over at my sister's where I said, okay, I'm going to go over in this quiet little room and just get this thing done that I needed to do. There was some last minute edits to the paperback that I had to do, and I had a deadline. And I tried to do them 2 days in a row, but being constantly interrupted to see how big my grandson's garden had grown in his game just didn't lend itself to doing that. So I had like an hour and got everything done, and that was great. But otherwise, not a good, not good for.
Yeah, that's tough. And you had been saying, like, as an indie author, you have so much control over when you launch, but then it's like you set that date and then stuff is coming up and it gets pushed because this thing isn't ready and it ends up overlapping. And it's like the timing of when to release a book can be really challenging.
And I had said to my co-author, I said this like a month ago. I said, okay, so we need to either do everything really, regimented and get everything done, or we need to wait till October because I'm not going to have the bandwidth for a while. And she's like, oh, I don't want to wait because, she wanted to show the book off, newbie author.
And it feels like a long time away.
I mean, October feels like a long time away. And it's funny because that's one of the things I want to interview her about. It's like, would she answer differently? And it's, I don't know if she will. That might be a question I ask her like in another interview, because like I wanted to be super bossy and say, no, we need to wait till October. But I also didn't want it hanging over my head anymore. And this is where you get when you're doing your own book, you really question yourself. Am I really doing it? And the other thing is you can make your book a bestseller 10 years after.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, get it all out. Yeah, get it away from like hanging over your head, get it out. And if the launch sucks, relaunch it in a year or whatever. Yeah.
So, and we'd already talked about it being a good Christmas book. It's a gift for somebody who's struggling, in their career or something, for a parent or someone to give. So, we have another opportunity. And I just, this all happened because of decisions I made and because of my energy level, which is turtle with a limp.
And that's like one of the good things about being indie authors and authors, working for ourselves. Like, if you have a chronic illness or you have problems with low energy or problems with focus, it can be a good career. Like, I think it would be better if I were super focused and churning out books and getting the marketing done all the time. But the fact that that's not realistic for me is like, you know what? We can still make it work with this career.
Yeah, that is a nice thing about, I mean, we really are entrepreneurs in all the sense, right? Entrepreneurs drive everything. But to protect that creativity, we can't. Or, I mean, I know a few authors who can be creative and driven, but for most people, that's not their personality, right? That's not the way it works. So you take time to spend with your family or, to take a nap, whatever you need to do. I don't know. I took a lot of naps and I felt bad, but my grandkids just wore me out. And I'm like, okay, Granny's going to go up and take a nap now. And then 3 hours later, I would come down. And my daughter and my sons were like, what is this nap thing? You never do naps. I'm like, but I'm old now and I'm tired.
Yeah, running after kids, like, that'll wear you out for sure. When you're not like built up your stamina for it. Like, parents kind of build the strength as they go, but if you're like the granny that sees them sometimes, like you don't have the stamina anymore.
So
Probably.
I'm sad that I did not get the Canva thing done, but I'm excited about it because I see how to do it. So I asked ChatGPT to just give it to me in bites that I could put on a card, and it gave me ask colleagues for posts, guest post swap, LinkedIn Live co-host, panel with creators, partner with big site, personal LinkedIn post, Medium excerpt article, pitch career podcast, submit op-ed essay, and LinkedIn newsletter promo. So all of those would fit on a bingo card. So I'm going to do that for maybe debut it on Saturday, hopefully showing that I have done everything. And if you get yours shortened up, I'll do the same thing for you. Just send them to me.
Cool. And definitely for Monday. I'm excited to see that. So yeah. Yay. Very
I know.
cool.
It's funny how we sort of push each other to think more creatively.
Yeah, and that's a great segue to lead into saying that we want more people to help push us creatively.
Wait, you
And
haven't reported on yours.
okay, so I've done absolutely nothing.
Okay. All right. That is okay.
So I can say what my things are supposed to be, but I haven't actually done any of them yet. I'm doing the media call. No, I'm doing. Should I do the media? Yeah, I'm doing the media column all the way down. And I'm doing it for the nonfiction book because there's that Kindle flash sale group promo thing that I'm participating in, like next week or the week after or something. So I thought like I should start getting some stuff ready for that. But yeah, I have been focusing on the trying to grow this community instead and not done anything for the book yet.
So
Maybe I
that's
can start
interesting because
that.
I want to ask you. So is the big promo you're doing, is that next week or the week after?
Okay, let me check on Google Calendar because I keep on forgetting where it's at. Okay, it's July 14th to 17th. So it is the week after. It's like I have 2 weeks left. So I don't, maybe that's less motivating with the bingo because it's like there's still time. Like maybe I should wait to do the nonfiction thing until
Well,
like
that's what I'm thinking. It's like, what were the things you were going to do that was going to support that?
so first, like Robbie, who Kelly knows and who is running this group promo, is sending like suggestions and when to like reach out to which people. And I've sort of started working on his stuff. And then what Book Marketing Bingo said to do is post a behind the scenes video on Instagram about why I wrote the book, which I think is cool. I would like that. Write a LinkedIn post with a strong CTA about the limited time sale and a teaser of an actionable tip from the book. Submit a guest article to Medium or entrepreneur.com, which are like wildly different things.
Yeah.
It's like Medium, easy accessibility. Entrepreneur, huge magazine. Okay. Pitch business podcasts and run a joint Instagram reel or TikTok with a creator who speaks to new business owners.
See,
So,
that sounds like a lot of reaching out.
yeah.
Um, and maybe that's not what you want to do this week. So feel free to totally change it up. Maybe even go
Yeah,
back
maybe
to
I'll
your
see.
fiction this week,
Because I'm
if
having
that
such a
feels
good time with the fiction and I'm enjoying the results of that and I want to keep pushing it. So yeah, maybe I'll like swap it around.
I mean, I think the purpose is to do the stuff you can do, right? And if you find like there's an obstacle and you can switch it and it's not an obstacle, I mean, that one sounds like a lot of work, actually,
Yeah.
because it's not like you have people in, except for the TikTok, you've got lots of material. Like, I mean, you could turn that into a YouTube. And I love the behind the scenes, I think. And that would be useful to create that like this week or next week, because then you can rerun it when you're doing the promo and that'll be really interesting. So,
Yeah, I think that's like for a
can
nonfiction book,
I
I
ask you
hadn't
a
really
question?
thought about that. What?
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
So in Robbie's promo, I know he likes to get communities together. Is there a community there?
Oh, that's a good
That,
question. I think
is
there may
there
be.
anybody you can reach out to and say, hey, I'd like to do a TikTok carousel with our 3 books because they're so closely aligned during the promo?
Ooh, yes. I don't know if
Or
there's a group.
Instagram.
I do believe I
Instagram
have.
might be better.
I think I do have access to who the other authors are, and I know he's putting together some like do a LinkedIn Live and interview one of the other authors, and like he's organizing stuff like that. So yeah, there's got to be a
Oh my
place.
God, you should do that. You should definitely do
Oh,
that.
I volunteered for that. I was like, yes, I know the
Okay,
tech.
good.
I can do that. Like 100%. I am in. Especially because like
Okay,
today
good.
was my last day in this therapy program, so like my time is opening up a lot starting tomorrow.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's okay to take an easy week. But it's like there's a lot that's going to happen. I forgot how good Robbie is. He's already, like working on the people who aren't good, and you just need like a little nudgy reminder of like, oh yeah, I can do that, and then you'll be doing it. So I'm excited about this. And how long does the promo go? Is it one day or
It's
is it one week?
it's a few days. What did I say? The 14th to the 17th. So it's 4 days. And yeah, so
Oh,
he's
that's
got
great.
it all like like regimented, and it's very cool. Yeah, so
And it's a
I
99-cent sale, right?
yeah, 99-cent sale of the ebook. Try to get some more reviews because I put together a launch team and I ended up with 5 reviews. And you really, I mean, talk about a funnel. You really have to start with a huge number to end up with a small number. Um, and Robbie
I
sent
started
some
with
stuff of
2,500 to
his.
get 4.
2,500?
To
Is
get
that like
4.
your email lists combined?
That's my email list, yeah.
That's your email. Wow. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, and to get 4. Robbie sent an email showing like here's the behind the scenes of how the launch that he just did went, and it was very eye opening and also like kind of encouraging to see that even he like it's like he reached out to a couple thousand people and he got like 400 people on the launch team, and then of those and of those and of those, even with him pushing, like he sends reminders a lot, like, and he has like 170 reviews on there now. So it's like it's a significant like
Well,
chunk
and
out.
also he's asking a lot of his reviewers. He wants them to actually write a real, like 2 or 3 paragraph review, which,
Oh, I write that.
a lot of people don't want to do that. I could be wrong, but I know there's a certain word count that he looks for because he's done the research and he knows that's what Amazon really pays attention to. And
Oh,
also,
maybe I missed that instruction.
the thing readers don't think about is when they do a review, sometimes it's a good book, enjoyed reading it or whatever, but that doesn't tell another reader anything about what you enjoyed. So if they don't know you, then they have to
Yeah,
think,
gives
well,
them like no info.
yeah. So, and some people will do like a book report, which always makes me laugh. But some people just nail it. They're like, this one takeaway for me was this. And I'm like, oh, I got to read that book. That sounds good. I just read the best review of Anne Bronte's book, which I'm forgetting the name of it. The something of something hall. And so it's an older book, I would say. The author was alive in the 1800s. Let me see. Actually, I don't even know that. I don't know when Anne Bronte was. Oh, yeah. Okay, she was born in 1820 and she died in 1849. All those Bronte sisters died really young. Tenant of Wildfell Hall.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I haven't read it. So
No,
what's
but
the
this
best review?
review, and I did read it back in college, but it made me want to read it again because of the way they were talking about how in our current society, it feels like real people aren't seen by rich people. They have
Mm.
like all these different rules, and their rules are very divorced from ethics and morals and being a good person. And so like people in at governess level really feel that, right? Because they have complete charge of these children, and yet they are lesser. And how do they discipline these children? And so this
Ooh.
person had had an experience like that with some wealthy children. That I don't know if she was technically a governess or whatever. And I thought that was really interesting to relate it to that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it really helps with reviews to like what what other kind of readers are going to like this book. Like, you know, if anybody who leaves reviews is listening to this, um, like I went and looked at what is the like top few disability books on the Amazon list, because there's now lists for like fiction with characters with disabilities, which is really cool that that exists. And like one of the top ones, I was like, this intrigues me. This is a romance. Maybe I would like this. But even though it said disability representation, nowhere did it say what it was, nor did any of the reviewers say what it was. So I was like, all right, I just have to take a leap in the dark here. I wish I
Because
knew.
sometimes they mean like autism or
It can mean
ADHD.
so many different things. It could be chronic illness, it could be cancer, it could be physical, it could be mental. Like, there's so many gajillion things it could be. It's not that I don't want to read a particular guide, it's that I want to know what I'm like getting into for
It's
this
interesting
book.
that they were being coy about it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, now that I bought the book and started reading it, maybe they're coy about it because the disability is mentioned. I'm at 60% of the way through, and I would say 3 sentences max. So, like, it's not very impactful or present in the story. It's very subtle, which is another thing that I would have liked to have known. So, I will probably be leaving a review just to warn other people, not to say you stay away from it, but to say, like, if you are interested in reading about disabled characters, you should be aware that there's not a lot of meat in that area. And it does these other things well, and it also has that sort of thing.
This sounds like something for your YouTube channel. This would be
Mm.
really cool. Like what, like 5-minute reviews just on, just in case you were wondering what the disability was or whatever, it's this,
Mm.
and, or, how
Yeah,
people handle disabilities. I mean, it sounds like there's something you could do that would help people
that is
um,
very
find the
interesting.
books they want.
I don't know how you feel about this. I felt kind of a conflict of interest reviewing books as an author. Yeah.
I do too. And so what I would do in your case is I wouldn't necessarily say it's not a review up or down. It's
Mhm.
not, it's people don't say this. And when you're reading this kind of, so it could be kind of like, now that Amazon has this category, I'm exploring it. And if you want to explore it too, this is kind of what you might find. Like, I
Mhm.
couldn't tell what the disability was in this book, but I still thought I wanted to read the story. So I read the story, and this was the disability. And,
Right. Not making a judgment call, not saying this is a good or a bad book, but
or even
uh,
asking questions like of your audience, like, do you like it when the disability is just handled like a piece of everyday life and it's not like a main topic? Um, I mean, I would handle it that way because I agree with you. You know, uh,
right.
Picking
I never
other
wanted to look
books.
like, oh, I'm leaving a negative review on my competitor's book to like, like I don't
So
want it to
to
come
be
across that way.
honest, yeah, but to be honest, even negative, and I'm not saying you should do this, but I'm just pointing out things that people don't realize. Even a negative review will get readers because something you don't like, somebody else might love. So that's the
Big.
thing I always tell my reviewers is just be really honest. You're trying to help other readers decide if they want to read this book. That is,
Exactly.
that's your mission.
Reviews are for readers. That's what they're
No,
always
it
saying.
doesn't need to be a thesis. It just needs to be 1 or 2 points that you want to make.
And like, not just like, this book sucked, the writing was bad. Like, that doesn't help a reader to know if
Oh, I
they're
really
gonna.
love it when I see there were typos.
Yeah, every book has typos. Traditionally published books have typos. Now it turns out, like, people are talking about maybe I should leave typos in so I don't get accused of using AI in my writing, because
Oh, I
it'll
haven't
be
heard that
too
one.
perfect, Oh, the witch hunt going on with the AI writing is like raising my blood pressure so much. Anyway.
I've noticed, a lot of people have said, well, I wanted to see. And so they put a piece of writing they did, like 10 years ago in, and it's like finding its AI. But I actually saw in a group I was in where somebody asked for some feedback on a piece of writing, and someone gave them a very detailed feedback in their comment. And someone else said, did you use AI to write that comment? And I thought, first of all, that's a really rude question, because it's like, to me, you know, all of the feedback was completely legit, right? I read through and thought, wow, this is really thoughtful, and also it was relevant. And
Mm-hmm.
and the person said, no, I didn't use AI to do that. That's just how
There's
I
so much
write.
work and thought into it, and then just for somebody to say you didn't do any thought and work, you just put it into the machine. There is no tell, and that's the thing. People want to believe that there's some way to tell when it's AI writing. There is not. There are no tells, and you just
Yeah, for a
have to
while I
say
saw that it was the M dash, and I'm like, I'm
yeah.
not giving up M dashes.
No, and now there's all these authors pushing back, going like, "Where do you think AI got M dashes from? It's from us. It's because it was trained on our work, and we use M dashes." Like, unless somebody leaves the prompt in there or the response, you do not know, and it is so mean to accuse people when you have no proof. I mean, this is an unpopular opinion, I think, but I believe that it's more harmful to artists and authors to be on a witch hunt to try to uncover who's using it than the AI itself. I've been personally victimized by this, so I'm very, very
I I
scared.
don't I don't disagree. I mean, to me, it's like readers either connect with the writing or they don't connect with the writing. That's basically it, right? And long before AI, there have been people whose writing I thought was quite mechanical, but readers connected with them, right? And I'm like, that's interesting. I wonder what it is about this mechanical writing that readers are liking. And I thought about it, right? And it's like, I'm not going to write like that, but it just opened up my mind a little bit to,
Yeah,
because
different people have different taste, and you can't just look at something and say, "Well, I didn't connect with this, so therefore, like, they aren't human."
I mean, I it's going to shake out the way it's going to shake out. But I was just really surprised that on a comment, someone was saying that it seemed needlessly mean. Like you're saying, they're being the AI police in a place where someone is trying to be helpful to someone else about a piece of writing. That just felt, you know,
Yeah, awful.
curmudgeon.
I had somebody in a mental health support group. She brought up that she was upset that night because in a forum she had left a really thoughtful comment and somebody said they thought it was AI. And I was like, "You're not going to believe this, but I have personal experience with this." But yeah, it was the comment. Like, you put too much thought and effort into it, therefore we don't believe that you actually took the time to do this.
Oh, that's interesting. Now AI happens when you're thoughtful. AI is thoughtful. Human beings are not.
Right? Like, the way that people talk about it is so contradictory.
All right.
Anyway,
I've
that was
distracted you
a
enough.
scary rant. And I should get back to the point of we are growing our community. And we're looking for more authors to join us and play this book marketing bingo game and see, like, it's been working gangbusters for me. I love it. I find it like there's such a big question mark around what do I do to promote my books, and we have such a great way to get like really custom specific tasks and keep up with it. And but as you were saying, Kelly, having more authors to bounce ideas off of and celebrate wins with and get creative with would just be such a dream. And
I just thought
so,
it's a great analogy.
oh yeah.
So, this is something that I've always wanted to do, and I've never been organized enough to do. I would have to buy way too many containers and figure out where to store them. But I've always wanted to like just create like a bunch of foods that I can eat that are good for me, so that I don't snack indiscriminately or get suddenly hungry and eat something that's not good for me, and just like have them all packed. So it's like, here are my snacks, here are my meals, here is my this, like, right? I mean, I actually think this is kind of the writer's dream right below, having an actual chef who just says, you need this right now. Here's a cup of tea. Here's some scones and clotted cream.
A chef can also read your mind.
They're made with broccoli and cottage. So I've always wanted that, but that's what this is, right? You just package your marketing, boom, boom, boom. You do it, and you're done, and you don't have to do anything outside of it.
Old prepackaged containers are sitting in the fridge. You pull it out when you need it during the week, and then get back to writing. Yes.
And we're very forgiving of people like me who are just struggling to try and get this. I mean, the discipline is just not there for me yet. And I'm getting there, but I'm going slowly. Like I said, a turtle with, a limping turtle. It's just the way I am right now. And I just have to be forgiving. But I am doing
the gamification
so much more marketing than I would have done if I wasn't playing this game with you.
For sure. It's like it's the accountability buddy aspect, as well as the like brainstorming ideas aspect, and the gamification that makes it a lot easier to swallow and not avoid.
Well, the game is the container, right? So it's easy to know if you win. And it's even easy, like I am going to have a reader column, right? So I will definitely win this week, but I want to do 3 columns. So maybe I want to win 3 times, but if I win once, that's more than I would have done.
It's such a good way to not move the goalposts on ourselves. We were talking about that in terms of procrastination and like finding excuses to not feel good about ourselves. Like, it's so easy to be like, well, if I do this thing, and then you get close to that thing and you're like, well, it doesn't really count because, and then you make it harder, and then you start getting closer, you make it harder.
That's the community aspect where you actually say something like that out loud, and other people are like, but you won your week. That's the only thing that matters. It's like, you want to, dazzle your week next week. That's okay, but it isn't required, right?
And you still have to celebrate that you have a really, really clear win when you do it, and celebrate that. Yeah.
So it's down there. Carolyn even made a short link for it because that will help. And
hope you remember. Yeah. So it's bit.ly/free-bingo. And that will take you to a little bit of a Google form, and then you'll get, we're going to send you over the website and put in a coupon code. So July is free for everybody, so that we can like try it out and see what it's like to have more people.
Ideas from other people. We've given each other ideas. Like Carolyn was saying, she really wished she could see the visual of the stamping. And I actually talked to my game programmer son when I was on vacation, and he said, it's not a game, it's a web developer thing. And so I'm like, oh, that's interesting, but I don't happen to be related to any web developers right now. So I had to figure out, how to do that. But, I'd like to do that, but I can't. But we were just talking and we realized we could do it in Canva for ourselves. And then if I make the Canva template, I can give it to people who want to play with it so they can get that feel. Like, I used to love going to bingo with my mom when I was a kid. I actually wrote a short story, science fiction, The Bingo Queen. And it's about my experience going to bingo with my mom. And it was a long time ago down in the South in the summer when people could smoke and the smoke would be hanging in the air up above you, right? So if you went to the bathroom, which was like a cement block where there was a gap between the ceiling and the top of the bathroom wall, and you could see the smoke, and it was clear and then smoke, and it was really so my aliens are smoke eaters. They go play bingo because they like to breathe in the smoke.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so bingo is actually one of my favorite games. And I like marking, and I've got so many different kinds of cards, right?
Mhm.
So it's like, the kinds they started out with, no, they didn't do the markers. They started out with actual real cardboard cards with like little windows that you could slide shut because they were fonce. And those get beat up real fast. Those old ladies are mean. And, and they got this giant, set of cards in front of them. Anybody hasn't been to bingo has no idea what I'm talking about, but anybody who's been, right? So now nowadays it's just paper, and you use like a big marker to like make your circle. But there's just a thrill. It doesn't matter how you do it. There's just a thrill to marking it off. So I'm working on figuring out how to do that.
Yeah, that like have a to-do list and make the check marks feels good. So like that's what I want for the bingo too. I want it to be really visual. So yeah, like getting other people's ideas, seeing how we can make this membership and game even better, and helping us understand how we can reach more authors and bring them in if it is something that, I think it benefits any author, really, traditionally published, indie published, fiction.
If you have to do book marketing and you really put it off and you don't really like it, this is a way to just put it into a container and feel good about getting it done, and do it more regularly than you have been because of the existential dread and also the little invisible tasks that you forget.
Yeah.
A TikTok video requires video.
Right. You have to film it. You have to script it. You have to know what you want to say, and then you have to figure out what the visuals are going to be and what sound you're going to add to it. Like, it can be a lot of steps.
I guess that's not true. A lot of people just sit in front of their camera and talk for a TikTok video. I don't think that's a good idea for me. But
even when I do that, it still takes like, okay, do I look horrible? Like, do I have a light shining on me a terrible way? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot that we don't even recognize. And it's like just that little bit of extra, hey, it's no big deal. You're going to do it, and it's going to be great, and you're going to have people cheer you on, and you're going to win your week. Take 5 minutes and be done.
Like the procrastination and also the perfectionism, and like, you just got to feel the fear and do it anyway. And you know exactly what that thing is. You have it like step by step. This is exactly.
And you can be like, my perfectionism's in the way, so I'm going to do something simpler. I'm going to swap something simpler, and I'll hit that thing the next week, right? And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean,
we would love to have you join us and play this game. You don't have to be on camera. We have a forum and a community, and we're going to do some more private videos in there when we have more people. And So yeah, sign up and introduce yourself. Tell us about your books. Have fun getting to talk about your books. And we hope to see you in there really soon. Anything else you would like to add, Kelly?
So we have talked about prizes. So there could be prizes, even though
Yes, we want to build up some like points, and winning actually gets you stuff that is related to helping you and supporting you in book marketing, so it can all sort of play into and scaffold off each other, and it's going to be really good. I think you want to be in on this.
let's try it. I mean, maybe you're not a game person and this won't work for you, but
yeah, it's worth trying. For a free July, just come in and see what it's like, and then if you don't like it, you leave. It's no big deal.
It isn't. It's not really a big deal, unless, of course, you suddenly start doing your book marketing and your book sales go up. I mean, then that's a big deal.
Indeed. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to see you Saturday, and hopefully I will have a bingo win by then, which is going to be starting from 0 today. So it'll be a rush.
Make it easy for yourself if you have to, remember. You can just take it easy. You could even do a mosaic, a couple of nonfiction, a couple of fiction.
That's true. Yep. Oh, all kinds of creative ways that we can do this.
All right. Will I get my 3 columns? I think I'm going to, but we'll see.
You told me 2 columns. What's the third one?
Well, I started 2. No, I started. So media and collaboration. And then I started focusing on readers because I needed the reviewers. And I also had my list, and I'm like, I haven't said a word to my list. So
excellent.
Just what
okay.
You do, right?
I will be very curious to see on Saturday. Awesome.